Hey yo, what's going on, guys? My name is Isma, and I'd like to welcome you all to episode 43 of my Warhammer 40k Tacticus series. In today's episode, we are going to be attempting to do a new type of tournament arena. It's called Faction Tournament Arena, and it seems pretty interesting. So, without further ado, I hope you all enjoy, and let's begin. Alright, so unlike the other tournament arenas, you're going to be playing with a full faction, which seems pretty fun, I would say. It's definitely going to be better than playing against Ragnar Onshi and those other legendary characters, Chainsaw, Celestine. That got pretty annoying pretty fast. So these are all the current factions that we can use. I'm not too sure who I want to try first. Mm, I think Ultramarines, but let's see. Orcs seem pretty tempting. Let's try Orcs. Yeah. Alright, so we are going against Ultramarines for our first battle. They move Kalgar onto the hits and Thaddeus onto the damage. Okay, so we're gonna move the Balls Gorgots onto here and then Snowflogger here, and Tank Smasher takes that power up. Okay, Snapperger did a lot of damage to Monias, more than I was expecting. Alright, so he moves up and uses Manius' ability. It doesn't do much, however, because of the armor power up and most of my characters being in trenches. Okay, they do kill Tank Smasher. However, in this turn we are now able to walk because everyone is in range. So we do that. We eliminate Titus, Manius, and we can eliminate Certus. Also Pharaoh, and all that's left is Bellator. So we get the GGs, so yeah. Alright. The one annoying thing though to deal with Bellator is that he has a Mach 10 Gravis and the Orcs, they have pretty low PS ratios, so it's gonna take a little bit to get rid of him. Alright. Well, Snowflogger isn't in range. Alright, so that is our first win. We used Orcs versus Ultramarines, so basically the premise of Space Marine 1. Alright, so for our second battle, let's see. Should we run Orcs again? Why not? Alright, we get first turn, and we're going against Necrons this time. So, first, ooh, Snowflogger is just behind the health power up, but none of his characters are in range, so should be pretty we should be pretty okay for a while. Let's do that. Let's bring everyone over here and skip. Okay, so the smart thing to do, if this player knows what he's doing, the smart thing to do would try to get Alephnol over to the health power up. But considering the positions, and I am lagging. Alright. Considering the positions, he wouldn't be able to do that, so I would have moved Anufet, which he did, so that's nice. Well, for his end, but I think, I was almost able to eliminate him. We used the guard tank to take out Anufet. Let's see. Well, move Snowflower onto the health power up, and our boss Gorgos has a hits power up, so let's not get into range of an Emo Spec with the damage power up and Overwatch, who also has extra damage in Overwatch. Can he eliminate Gibbscraps? I think he can. Because he hasn't moved Makotep, yes. And now he can probably get one Scrap Swarm if he does decide to use his ability on the tank, or two. Alright, so he decided to skip. He only made two moves, one with Totmos and the other with Makotep to eliminate Gibber Scraps. But he did not move Emo's Effect, nor did he move Aleph Null. So I'm not sure if he didn't know what he was doing or what. But regardless, this seems like a pretty easy game for us, so I'm just gonna skip ahead to the next one. Alright, so we won that previous battle, so yeah. Let's try out the World Eaters this time, because I'm actually pretty excited to use Khan for the first time. I did kind of wish they had a better fifth option other than Angrax. Probably someone like Harkin would have been better in my opinion. But Angrax isn't... yeah. Oh, and speaking of Harkin, we are going against him. We're going against the Black Legion, so... Abaddon has the health power up and Harkin has the hits power up, which is gonna be a bit of a problem. But we move our Khan onto the hits power up, and let's see. We cannot use Deep Strike on Rask to get onto any power because I believe they changed that a little bit ago. So let's see. We're gonna move them around the health power up. We're gonna try to take as little damage as possible. Khan will most likely be dead. I am hoping he won't, but if that is the case, yeah. He can do a lot of... oh. Well, he decided to attack Harkin. Sorry. Using his Harkin, he decided to attack Angrax with his active ability, so that worked out in our favor. But he did suppress Khan with Volk, so my active in the next turn isn't going to do as much damage, but still going to use it, so... And I did something incredibly foolish. What I was supposed to do was move Khan in between Abaddon and Harkin, and then target Harkin, but I targeted Abaddon. Unfortunate. But Abaddon is taunted, so while Azkor is alive, he cannot use his active ability, which is pretty good. And especially since he has a health power up, restoring him to 40% HP would be pretty bad for us. Okay, Azkor is on 1 health because of his resilient trait, but now Archimatos gets a free summon, so let's move up Khan. Oh, we can bring Mesa over here, use his active. Ooh. Let's see, how much hits do we have? We only have 2. We wouldn't be able to kill him. Yeah. Oh. Whoa, whoa. I actually forgot about that. For a second there, I thought it was the fire underneath Abaddon that did all that damage, but apparently that was not the case, so yeah. Get rid of Volk, and Abaddon is on 1 HP. So we use Rask's ability. I always have trouble saying Rask ability, well, the plural. Rask. Yeah, I always have trouble saying those two words back to back, so the ability of Rask. That's what we used. Alright, so let's run it back once more with the World Eaters, and then after that we're gonna choose a different faction. Alright, so our opponent gets the first play, and it's Necrons once again. So let's see how this goes. Well, we do get a decent start. We can move Khan onto the hit power up, Mesa onto the damage power up, and well, I don't think we'll be able to get... oh, well, yeah. He took the armor power up, so yeah. Okay, let's... oh, actually, he is in range of Khan, but I also want Khan to get a hit power up. I did actually change my mind. I moved Rask onto the damage power because Thutmose is over there, and if he moved up out of null just a bit, he would be able to spawn the scarabs onto Mesa, which would most likely kill him. So we got rid of Emospec. Now we're gonna bring up everyone else. Okay, so what's his move gonna be? Okay, he's gonna try and get rid of Thorn. He is successful in doing that. Let's see. Oh, okay, he uses his active there. He moves up Anofet to the health power up, so now he has both of those. So he's gonna be pretty dangerous if we don't deal with him relatively quickly. And we also have these two sets of scarabs to deal with, otherwise they're gonna keep multiplying. Actually no, one set can only one set can multiply. Okay, we're gonna taunt these guys. Use Angrex's ability here. We eliminate both. Get rid of Darkness. And wow. Okay then. Well, all we have to do is eliminate this guy, but he does that, so he... Alright, this is gonna be a bit of a problem. And what makes it even more of a problem is that he has the health power up, and the Necrons regenerate 10% of their maximum health every turn, so... Alright, if we can get Rask active up a decent bit... Actually... yeah, need to get one more hit or two. Okay, the Terminator helped Rask survive his attack, but we still need a bit more. Hopefully. Oh, come on. Lovely. That was a good game. Alright, so for this next set of battles, I think we're gonna use the Ultramarines. Let's see how that works. Alright, so we're gonna go against the Adeptus Sororitas. This might be a tricky battle, but we do get to go first, so... yeah. Alright, so first let's move Titus onto the hits power up. Okay, good, he isn't gonna be in range, if anyone. Let's move Bellator onto the armor. Move Manius. Actually, let's move Certus here, then Manius over here. And Thaddeus right behind Bellator so you can get a bit of block chance. Alright, he moves his Celestine onto the hits power up. Moving Val attacks Varro. Let's see, who shall he move next? Okay, Vindicta onto the damage power up. We're gonna have to take care of her because that is gonna be trouble. And he moves up Rosewater and Isabella. Alright, so first we're gonna attack using Titus's ability. Should eliminate her. Nice. Let's move Bellator onto the health power up, so now he has health and armor. Move Manius up and use his active. Yeah. Alright. We eliminate Morven Val. We get both of Celestine's summons out, so that's good. But now let's see who will... when he uses Isabella's active, let's see who will he revive. Will it be Morven Val or Vindicta? And Titus's revive coming in clutch, even though he dies immediately after. Oh, he brings back Celestine. Alright. Well, I guess it's a bit better than bringing back... what's her name? Vindicta. Okay, so first, well, actually, next, we are going to move and attack using Bellator over here to get rid of Isabella. Oh, come on. Alright, well, we get rid of her using Certus. And Manius almost eliminates Celestine, so let's see. He isn't able to take out Varro, which is good for us. Well, he isn't able to take out Varro in the first try, but we get rid of Celestine again, and we win. Alright, so for our second battle, we're gonna go against the Thousand Suns. I'm just kidding. We go against a mirror match of Ultramarines. Alright, so we move up Manius onto the hits power up. And then, well, Bellator onto the... Bellator onto the armor power up once again. Thaddeus over here, Certus here, and bring Titus... Where should we put Titus? Okay, looks like we're out of range of everyone, so we can put Titus here. What would be kind of deadly if he put either his Certus or his Varro onto the hits power up. Well, Certus wouldn't be able to get there because he has a movement of 2, but Varro would have been deadly, but he chose Bellator, so don't have to worry. He moves Varro onto the armor power up. Alright, well, let's see. If I could have gotten Manius onto the damage power up, I could have used his active to hit everyone, but just a 2-bit far. Alright, but we still get to use his active, so let's see how much damage we do. A decent amount. It's the Certus, at least. Alright. Nice. Varro's ability target Certus. Alright, so next up we're gonna move here. Use Certus's heavy round to get rid of their Bellator. Move Titus onto the damage power up, and we're gonna try and get rid of his Titus. Oh, wow. 5 HP. Alright, well, we wait for his turn. He uses his Varro's active. He's gonna move up Manius. Oh, he does not move up Manius. Okay, so we're able to get rid of Titus. Now, taking out Manius Kalgar, then Varro, and back to Manius Kalgar once again. He gets overkilled, and that's a pretty easy win. So let's see what faction we'll play next. Alright, so for these next 2 battles, I've decided we're going to be playing with the Eldari. So, we have Eldari versus Tau. Let's see how this goes. So, first and foremost... Well, we can't get onto that power, but we can get onto this one. Who should we put the hell power up with? Mugenra or Jainza? Let's go Jainza because she's our best frontline fighter, so yeah. Alright, so that's how much damage this opponent's gonna deal with Overwatch. We do have Infiltrate, so that is a big advantage versus Ravas. However, everyone else though doesn't have that advantage, and everyone else will get killed pretty quickly. Alright, let's see. Okay, he uses Onshi's active on Ravas once more. Okay, we move Mugenra here, and gonna bring... I want to get Calandus onto the hits power up, so I'm gonna use her active, well, Calandus is active, to kill one of the drones and then move on to that power up so he doesn't get it. Alright, and friend here, well, yeah, that was the best choice. Okay, that ability did not do anything. But that was my fault. I should have moved Elderon a bit closer. Alright, so his turn again, so let's see what he'll do. He attacks Chainsaw. Okay, wow, wow. I was not expecting that amount of damage to be dealt to her. Even though I know they have the high ground, I wasn't expecting her to get eliminated in 2 attacks. Alright, and well, Ravas is in Overwatch once again, so that is a big problem for us. And well, not anymore. Okay, let's take our Dark Strider. With the hit power, we were able to do that, so that's very good. Going over here, we're using moving around. We take out on Shi, so all that's left are Shadow Sun and Josil. Is 2v4, and we should win this within a pretty comfortable margin. He does, however, take out Mugen Ra. That is unfortunate, but with the amount of hits we have on our team, we're gonna win. Okay, let's move up Elderon, get rid of these 2 drones, and then to defend him with, so he's gone. That was a pretty nice win. I was not expecting to win that actually, so I'm glad I did. Moving on. Alright, our second battle will be Eldari, and we go against the Black Legion. So let's see how this one goes. Okay, he moves Abaddon onto the health power up. That's not good for us already. Folk there, Harken onto the hits power up. That is bad. And Angrax onto the armor power up. Okay, that is worst case scenario for us. Let's try to make the best of it. Alright, so I do not want Harken to get a hit power up, so I'm going to use Calandis' ability here to make sure she gets that, and hopefully he doesn't target her, so that she survives until the second round, where I can do something. But let's see now. Moving raw. I keep forgetting to move up Elderon first. Alright, well, we do get rid of Harkin, so that is good. Wow, okay, he used Volk's active. I thought that was just a regular attack in addition to his passive. That would have been devastating. But he wasted his active, so that's good. Abaddon doesn't do much. Okay, so we have a chance to win this. It's a very small chance, but we have a chance. Alright, so let's see. Okay, let's get rid of Archimentos. Alright, Elrond deals with Archimentos. Let's get rid of Volk, secondly. And thirdly, I want to. But then we have the Bloodletters to deal with as well. Ooh. I'm gonna deal with one of the Bloodletters because 2 of them are gonna deal a lot of damage. Okay, good. Calandis is not dead, but I believe he's gonna use Angrax to get rid of her now. Ooh. You know, I'm not too sure how this is gonna work out because he has the health power up, Angrax has the armor power up, incredibly tanky, and while both of my characters that I have alive currently have a lot of damage, they do not have a lot of health and sustainability, so that's gonna be my downfall. But we're still gonna try. We're gonna move Chainsaw in the front to try and protect. But he's smart. He knows what he's doing. He's pushing his characters back so that I'm forced to attack him. Okay, they're currently out of range, but this is just gonna end in a stalemate, so I'm just gonna end it here. I'm just gonna try and deal as much damage as I can. He's already gonna win, I know that, so yeah. And even disregarding the power-ups, both of them have Terminator armor, which is a huge problem. Well, that's good game, so. Alright, he hits us with a well played. We appreciate that. We are actually getting a lot of blocks out of Chainsaw. You know what? I actually forgot about that. I did forget about those the outer hexes becoming a bombardment zone. But it was still a good game for me nonetheless. Moving on. Alright, so we are currently using the Necrons and our opponent is using the Eldari. Let's see what their first move is going to be. Alright, so he moved Ton onto the hits and Calandus onto the damage power up. We move our Alephnol onto the health power up, and the reason I do that is because Alephnol is going to stay alive for pretty long. And I also moved Alfred onto the hits power up because, to be honest, he's actually pretty good with it in my opinion. But over here, we're going to move Makotep and everyone else around him. So let's see what their move is going to be. The two characters I really hope that, actually the three characters I hope don't die in the first turn is Totmos, Anofet, and Alephnol. Because I can mostly win this without Makotep or Emosfec, but the other three I need 100% sure to win. That was well played out of him. But now, let's see. Alright. And even though Jainza has a high resilience to melee attacks, that attack out of Anufed did a lot of damage to her. Okay, so gonna move here and use this on Calandus. Ooh, didn't quite get rid of her, but that's okay. I'm gonna take... Let's take Totmos and get rid of Elderon. And then we're going to try to get rid of Galandus. Okay, didn't do much, but it was worth a shot. Okay, so now let's try and get rid of Atana. Oh, nice. Out of it hit a couple of crits. Okay, he used Chainsaw's ability to get rid of one of our troops. And, alright. Well, yeah, I believe we can win this comfortably now. Because all of his main units are on really low health. So, we get rid of Calandus here. And the second main target is going to be Mugen Ra. I'm not too worried about Atana. Okay, I take back that statement. I really take back that statement. Oh, I completely forgot that Alephnol has the explode trait, so all we gotta do is just let our summons get rid of Mugen Ra. And the good thing about the Necron Warriors as well is that they can actually resurrect themselves, so we don't even have to worry too much if he takes out a couple of them. Because there's a chance they'll revive. And that's a good game there, so let's just skip. And nice match. Alright, here we go. Necrons versus Ultramarines. We move Totmos onto its power up, and we move Makotep onto the armor power up. I really want to see how good Totmos is going to be. Well, I think he's going to do really good because he does have that high PS ratio and high damage. So he's going to deal with Mania Skaga and Bellator incredibly well. And we also give him the damage power up. So... And I completely forgot that his passive states does not gain any buffs. So that is a misplay on my part, unfortunately. But let's see. We're gonna bring Aliphanol over. Hmm. Let's just leave him here and see what he does. I would say he has a high chance of targeting Totmos, but let's see what he does. So he moves up Titus to attack Emosfec. Manya still has his ability. And well, looks like he doesn't want to play anymore, so let's just wrap this up quickly and move on to the next fight. Alright, so for this battle, I've decided we're going to be playing with the Tau. So let's see what our opponent does first. They are playing Black Templars, and that already is kind of bad. Black Templars are pretty scary to go against because of Brother Godswill and Brother Jaeger. If they get any of the power-ups, whether it be health damage or hit increase, it's almost always going to be a bad time for everyone. So yeah, let's try our best here. We activate Overwatch, and let's see. Don't think there's really much we can do here without putting our units in danger. Because Shadow Sun is going to be in range of Brother Jaeger if I do put her on the damage power up. Alright, so his first move, he moved up Brother Godswill as well as Brother Jaeger and also the High Marshal. I also think he used Ancient Torad's ability. I'm not too sure, but he hasn't moved them as yet, so I'm guessing he did. Okay, I guess he did, which was kind of a waste, but hey, if it works out for us, it works out. Oh, I do not want to put Dark Strider in melee range. Alright, that's Brother Jaeger taken care of. You know what I should have done? I should have moved on Sheen right next to Ravas and activated Overwatch again, so that we could have had some protection against the other units, but oh well. Okay, let's see. I believe we should be okay in using this. And it targeted the High Marshal, so that's all the better. Alright, so let's see. I'm not worried about Ancient Dorian, I'm not worried about High Marshal, neither Brother Burchard. The only one I'm really worried about is Brother Godswill, and that is why. One attack, he can instantly eliminate a unit. Right. I think we should still be okay though. But we are gonna have to stay clear of Brother Godswill, while also trying to eliminate everyone else. Let's get rid of Brother Burchard. And let's move on here and then attack Ancient Toriad using Darkstrider. Alright, we also get a crit, which was nice. And he chooses to target Shadow Sun, so let's see what we can do using our 3 remaining units. Alright, so ooh, nice. He doesn't quite eliminate Onshi, so we still have a decent chance at this. Okay, so I'm gonna move Shosil behind Darkstrider. Get him as far away as possible from Brother Godswill. Let's see. Let's target Darkstrider there. And one thing about Darkstrider, I actually forgot he suppresses a unit. So that's the reason why he didn't eliminate Onshi. Okay, so I believe we have this all figured out. And done. That was pretty good. That was a good game. Alright, moving on. Alright, so for this game, we're going to be using the Dark Angels. So we have Azrael, Sarquel, Asmodai, and Baraquel, in addition with Incisus, because they still don't have a 5th character. And we're going against the Orcs. So, I think I'm going to put what's it? Incisors onto the health power up, because it makes sense. Keep our healer alive so he doesn't really have to worry about himself. Now I would have liked to get Sarkwell onto this damage power up, but he's a bit too far away, so we choose Asmodai instead. And we just move up the Overwatchers and the tank. Okay, so now let's see, who do we target? Let's target Snortflogger. Alright, so now we have to wait for both Cocots to use the Wog, which he does right now. Ooh, Sarkwell does a decent amount of damage to him, and Asmodai is still alive, which is a plus. Unfortunately, Azrael does not survive. Incisor takes a tiny bit of damage, but I think there's a spot where you can eliminate Asmodai there. So, yep. Unfortunate. So it's 3v5. We get rid of Gibbous Scraps. Then we're gonna get rid of the boss. And let's see. This is gonna be tough. Mainly because Sarkwell is a long range unit and Orcs are the close range guys. And he is almost dead. Now he is dead. So it's a 2v3. Plenty summons versus essentially two tanks. Alright. Oh, that did a lot of damage. Alright, so let's see. The end of his turn. Well, he can't really bring Snortflogger anywhere close to us. So we're just gonna heal up Incisors and use Barrackrill's ability. We actually do land a crit onto Snortflogger. And also we kind of have a tiny bit of an advantage because of Barrackrill's passive ability. If he does block, he gets an additional set of reduced damage, which is nice. Alright. Okay, so we're gonna heal up, both of us. Oh, that did not heal as much as I wanted. But Barrackrill is coming in really clutch because of his traits. His Intimidator trait helps reduce the first hit, as well as his Crushing Strike trait and Heavy Weapon traits. Since we're basically locked in place, they always trigger, so that's nice in this circumstance. And well, like I explained before, his passive helps out greatly. So let's try and get rid of as many of these. You know, I actually forgot about this. The what do you call this? I think it's an area bombardment they used in the rule set. So we just gotta move Barrackrill to a spot where he won't receive too much damage. Alright, so wait, what? Did that actually work? No, it did not. Honestly, I don't give him wrong for thinking that way. I would have probably done the same, to be honest. Alright, so here we are playing Space Wolves for this match, and we are going against the World Eaters. So let's see what our opponent is gonna do. Oh, he moves Khan onto the health power up. Now I would say we have the better side in terms of power-ups, because we can move either Ulf or Ragnar onto the melee hits, and move either Tajak or someone else onto the damage. Now I decided to go with Ulf here because Ulf has stronger attacks, and the melee hits would also affect his active and passive abilities, which would be an insta-kill for anyone, so that's the reason why. Okay, so let's just move everyone slightly upwards. Yeah, just move everyone out of range. And where are we gonna put it? Here probably. Now, one good things to notice, we do have a stun with Arjak, so if we have to, we can stun Khan. And Mesa is another good choice for someone to stun, because that AoE attack and then being able to attack again is kind of detrimental to us. Let's see, can we get rid of Khan this turn? Alright, so firstly I'm gonna move Tajak up here, and we're gonna get rid of Rask, so damage with additional hits. Then we're gonna hopefully take care of Khan, and that we do, but he is able to trade out because he is Khan. Basically, that's the nicest way to put it. But we can win this. All that's left is a half-health Angrax, and Azko, who doesn't really do much damage on his own. He's just there for his resilience, and well, Mesa, the damage dealer. But he is pretty weak, so we can get rid of him relatively quickly. Oh, and additionally, Arjak does stun every time he blocks. Okay, get rid of... Oh yeah, Mesa's resilient, so... Just use Arjak's active to get rid of him once and for all. We use Nyal's... Actually... no, let's just use basic attacks. And since Nyal does psychic damage, we don't really have to worry about the Terminator trait. And yeah, that's pretty much good game, so... Let's pile in. Oh, you know, I never really took that into consideration, that the hits power would work for the Job's active as well. That's cool. Alright, so next game we move the Job onto the melee hits power up, and we're gonna move Ragnar onto the regular hits power up. And we can't really move Arjak onto anywhere else. Alright, we move up Nia, we move up Arjak and Ulf. And let's see what the Black Templars are gonna do. Brother Godswill on the health power up. And yes, I would have done the same, put Brother Jaeger onto the damage power up. He uses Ancient Torres active, which I could kind of understand that, because if I were to use Warhowl, he would be in a bit of trouble. Alright, so let's try to get rid of everyone. Let's use his active here so that Brother Godswill can't move much. Well, yeah, can't move anywhere else. Oh! Well, Ragnar survived that, so that's pretty nice. He had to use Brother Burchard's active ability in order to get rid of him, which is a plus for us. Okay, High Marshal takes out Ulf. Now all we're left with are Tajak, Arjak, and Nyal. Let's see. Alright, we get rid of the High Marshal. Our biggest problem is going to be Brother Godswill. Alright, so now let's see what our opponent is gonna do. We do have Arjak pretty tanky, so here's the hoping that not much comes out of that. Alright, Brother Burchard doesn't do anything to Tajak. Nice. Alright, we have a solid chance of winning this now, I would say. However, Tajak wouldn't be able to do anything against Brother Burchard because of the Marked and Gravis trait. So our objective right now is going to try and whittle down the Sword Brother until we get rid of him. Alright, so Tajak is gonna be dead. Oh, okay. Alright then, well, looks like he decided not to eliminate Tajak, and we use that opportunity to get rid of Ancient Toriad. So with that, he uses Brother Burchard's passive ability to get rid of Tajak, and he doesn't really, he can't do much with, what's this guy's name, Arjak, because of his Terminator trait and the fact that he has the armor buff as well as his passive giving him additional block chance. So most of the time when Brother Gods will attacks, he gets stunned, and in his follow-up turn, he wouldn't do as much damage. Okay, so I would say we got this in the bag, more or less. Okay, that's another block there. I'm hoping that Arjak can survive one more attack and he doesn't land a crit. Okay, nice. Oh, this actually works out pretty well for us because he's basically stuck there and he's stunned, so he can't move more than one hex, and that's a good game. That is a good game. Pretty fun one too, I would say. Alright, so for these next couple of battles, we're going to be playing using the Adeptus Mechanicus with Move and Fall as our 5th. Now what I would have liked to do in the first turn is move Tamikida onto the health power, but we're going to have to wait till our 2nd turn to do that. And we're going to move Vitruvius behind here, just for a bit of extra safety. We're going to move Exetoro up there, because frankly, he's our weakest link, but by moving him onto the armor power, we can kind of use him for a distraction to get some of their abilities out. Alright, there goes the Wog. Now, let's see. Okay, he moves his Tank Smasher onto the hits and Snowflog onto the melee hits. Okay, so... Ooh. And he also moves his Snapper Echo onto the melee hits. Okay, Red Bombardment does that much. Alright, so our Exotoro is still alive, which is good. Wait, did he use Snapper Echo yet? Okay, he did not. Alright, so... Let's move and Vol onto here because I want to get rid of the Snotflogger really quickly. So we're gonna use Extor's ability, and we're gonna attack using Vitruvius, and then we're gonna just use everyone else. Alright, Snotflogger is gone. That's one less thing to worry about. Boss Golgor shouldn't be too much of a problem since you already used the active. The only two problems for us are Tank Smasher, 1, and Snapper Echo. Specifically if he gets into melee. Alright. Oh! And well, looks like he did stun Morgan because she is a big target. Alright. Let's see how much we can do. We're gonna have to stay in melee. Okay, we do eliminate the Tank Smasher. Now he's gonna go for Vitruvius with Snapper Edgar, I would guess. Alright. Oh, he actually does attack with Snapper Edgar, but Vitruvius survives, which will be beneficial for us. Okay, so let's see. The best choice, I would say, let's use Red Bombardment over here. Nice, we overkilled Boss Golgoth, so he isn't able to use his active. Sorry, not his active, his Final Vengeance trait. Vitruvius finally goes down, but I believe we have this in the bag, because even though Gibber Scraps can heal Snapper Echo, Morvenval has a ton of health, and Gita is secured safely behind. So he isn't able to be targeted at the moment. And on top of that too, we have the Skitari Vanguard as temporary meat shields in a sense. Well, not really meat because they're not really made of flesh anymore. Alright, so we got rid of Gibber Scraps. Now all of... Oh wow! That did a lot of damage. And he attacks her, and both of them explode. So that's game. Alright, and in our second admin game we are going against the Ultramarines, and fortunately for us we are able to get Tangita onto the Hell power up in the first turn. So our opponent is going to have the damage, the armor, and the 2 hits power up. Alright, Manias goes on to the damage, Titus on to the armor, and he just brings everyone up slightly. Now we can move Tangita over here. Alright, so we move Tangita over here, Exeter to the back, and let's move Val up one spot. So I believe he's gonna put Titus onto its power up, which shouldn't be too bad for us. Oh wow, I just noticed Val has 9 hits because of the melee hits power up. Alright, well it looks like he skipped his turn, so I guess I'm gonna move Tangita onto the hits power up. He already has a lot of health and additional armor, so I would probably say it's worth it. But considering the amount of damage some of the Ultramarines can do with their abilities, why not? Alright, nice. Now, even though we won't be able to attack and get any Skitarii out of this round, we still have denied him a power up, which is a good thing. So let's just move everyone slightly forwards, not to be in range of his characters, but just out of range. Alright, so let's see, what's his first move gonna be? Okay. Oh! I myself honestly thought that would have worked. If he used Varro's ability, it would hit all 4 of them, but I forgot about the bridge. The bridge is a kind of an odd spot. That's the reason I don't like bridges in this game. You can't tell whether some chained ability would be able to connect or not. So yeah, but it worked out good for us. Exeter Road took a bit of damage, but for the most part, everyone is alive. So now, I was contemplating using Move Invulnerability, but I'm just gonna go one move up forwards to attack Thaddeus, bring him as low as possible. Then I'm gonna move Exeter Row. No, sorry. Before that, I'm gonna move up Vitruvius, attack Manius, then move Exeter Row. And then we're gonna double attack and get some summons, as well as deal a lot of damage to the Ultramarines. And with that, I would say we have one. Even though he called the Inceptors to eliminate our Exeter Row, we have a Tangita with 3 hits and the health power up, as well as a Moving Val with the hits power up, as well as a full health Actus and Vitruvius. So, and what he has is a full health Titus, half health, well, dead Faratagurius, and a half health Bellator. Oh, and well, Moving Val eliminates Titus, so that's nice. Let's just summon up more Skitarii, because why not? All that's really left is Bellator, so. Alright, and he moves Bellator to attack a summon, which he doesn't even kill, so let's call it game. Okay, so we attack using Morgan Val in melee, and then attack using Vitruvius, and that's a good game there. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to end today's video. This was a pretty fun video to make. Honestly, the best version of Tournament Arena I have ever played. I really do hope that they continue to do more faction tournament arenas. It's definitely better than dealing with the Khan Ragnar on Shi combo every game in regular tournament arenas. It was very sickening and very discouraging to play. So this new format is pretty nice. and I do hope they they keep with this format. And finally, I would like to apologize for this very long video. It wasn't my intention to have a video this long. However, I did have a lot of fun and wanted to share it with you all. So even if you watched just a little bit of it, I'm grateful for that. I really hope you all enjoyed. I'm thankful once again for your support, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Bye.